Okay, so the next question is about the Excel, and um, I would like you to just go to question 4. That's on page 8. That's also part of the document which I have sent to you. Okay, so basically they ask you to rename the sheet. Remember, that's a sheet we're working in the workbook. To rename a sheet, you'll literally go right click, you say rename. They're asking you to rename it to the dog show. Okay, make sure you don't make spelling mistake. And then you can start doing the data on there. The first of the questions at 4.1 is to merge and center the heading in cell A1 across. So you're going to do that across to K1. All there, you're going to go merge and center, and then they also ask you to shade the merge cells green. Okay, so it's a shading of green. We did do this in class, so this will look familiar to you. Then they're asking to change the height of the row to, so all of these, so you can just highlight the whole row. Remember, highlighting a column is clicking on A, B, C to E, F, whatever. And then 1, 2, 3 will be highlighting the row. So they're talking about row 2. You will go to format, which is in the home ribbon. You will make sure that you ask what they are telling you. The height and the width of the column will be changed there. At this point, they are asking for the height of the row. It must be changed to 26.25, and you will say okay, and then it will appear as it should. And then they are also asking you to center vertically. Remember, vertically will look like this, horizontally will look like that. Okay, so if it's vertically, it's just between the two columns. If it's horizontally is in the middle of left to right. Vertically is done from the bottom to the top. Okay, and then they're asking you to format the headings in the cell D to K3. So that is the ones that they're talking about. They want it to look like this. It didn't look like that originally, so I'm just going to change it back so that I can show you how to do that. So you're going to right click and say format cells, and you're going to say alignment. It looked like this. Okay, that is how it looked like. So, okay. So if you want it to be turned upside down in the 90 degrees, then you will go to format. You will go to format cells, or you'll right click and say format cells. That's the same one. And then you will just turn it around as asked. Okay, and then that will work. And then remember also just to center vertically if that is being displayed like it is in 4.4. Now they are asking you to calculate the number of categories in which each dog was entered appears in column E. Calculate the column D in the entrance C. Now I've done this with you in the class. I'm not going to spend more time because the video is going to be long and you're going to be irritated with the data that it's used. So please go through that accordingly. I want you to please go to 4.8, which says the total the number of dogs that's participated must be calculated there where the question marks is. So you will delete the question marks, and the number of dogs will be obviously equal sum. You will double click on sum, and the number of dogs participated in the show was the categories. Oh, sorry, that was the count A, not the sum. Sorry, when you count the amount of dogs, it's going to be count A. Remember, when we count text, you're going to use count A. If you are counting numbers, then it's going to be count. So the difference between count and sum is count is literally counting the amount of items. Okay, sum is calculating the addition of, let's say, for instance, I want to know how many people are in the grade 10 cat class, but I'm counting their names. Okay, so I'm counting names, then it's going to be count A. So it's the total of people. Some will be if I ask you to calculate all of the ages. So I will take 16 plus 15 plus 14, however your ages is, and I will add them. So can you see the difference between sum and count? Okay, at 4.8.2, the most common number is mode. The highest is going to be equal max. And you're going to choose the correct one there, the highest final score, which we haven't calculated now, but you are going, so I'm going to select that column. It's going to be the same method, different data. So it's going to take the highest number, which is 99. Don't stress too much about that. I'm not going to ask you a nested formula, which means if it's a nested formula, it's a formula within a formula. Okay, then I want you to quickly go to 4.10. 4.10 says the date on which it was printed is displayed there. I want it to be displayed with forward slashes, not as it's on the question paper. I'm turning it around. So you will then highlight C2, you will go to custom, and you will make sure that you go to the more numbering formats, and you will choose the one whichever I ask. In this case, I'm just taking an example, and you will type it in there. Don't click type. Okay, and it will appear correctly. Okay, then entering somebody's cell phone number. Remember, if it was general, quickly see the difference. If this was general and I have put in the zero there, it will throw away the zero. So I can go type in zero until I am blue. The moment if I take enter, it will take it away. So you must make sure that when you enter a cell phone number or a number that starts with the zero, you must change that to a custom, which is the custom is text, and you will say okay, and then you will be able to type in the zero and it will remain. But you have to go and type in the zero. It won't insert the zero because it's text. Okay, then to calculate the random one, you're going to say equals rand between, and let's say the bottom. Can you see it says the bottom? So I want a random number between 1 and 40. So the bottom is going to be 1, and the 40 is going to be the top, and then it's going to give me a random number. Um, Oh, what is going on now? I must separate it with a semicolon because I'm working on a laptop. On your computer, it will be a comma. Okay, and it will be 12. Then every time it will be a different one. Then I want you to quickly look at the custom sort. Remember, is when you highlight all of your text, you will go into home, you will sort and filter, you will say custom sort and choose the levels that it needs to be sorted by. Okay, and then I'm skipping some of the questions, which is okay. We've done it in class. I just want to switch over to 4.15, which is asking you to work in the worksheet of charts. So remember, if I ask you to work in a different worksheet, that is where you find it. Abungile, I hope you're watching this video. Then you will now be asked to calculate the breeds to be displayed and the average of the score of the breed. Okay, I'm just going to delete that so that we can choose our own one. Now, I told you in class there's two ways. You can press control and you can highlight those. Please see, I'm not highlighting the headings. Chroma and Joy and Mimi and all of those sitting to the right there in my class. I will right click and I will press hide. Nee, meneer Engelbrecht. And then Dilo, I can now choose the two. Can you see now, because it's together next to one another, I can just highlight both. They are asking me to put in a 2D column chart. Okay. So I will go into insert. I will choose the one that's been asked of me, which is a column chart. I can also insert a pie chart, which is there. Remember, everything that I choose for this to be on the chart is found under the design button. You have to click on it. You have to click on the design. You have to go to add chart. There you can choose to either have the title there, or you don't want the title there. Do you want it to be above the chart? Or if, let's say, we want it above the chart and I'm asking you to say suitable heading, please, if I ask you for a suitable heading, don't type suitable heading in there. It's misspelled. But the point is, that is how you do it. And then if I ask you to display the labels, just quickly see the different labels means those little values next to it is given either inside, it's called the label. So you will choose there, or it can be a data call out or a best fit, whatever I ask you. I will ask you one of those words if I do ask you that. And then the legend is different from the label. So the label is the values displayed on each segment of the circle, or the pie graph, and the legend is the actual data that's been displayed. So let's say I've asked you to display it at the bottom or maybe at the right, or I don't want any label, then that is where you choose it to be. Okay, then you can also obviously choose a style. I would like style 4. This is a nice one. And then the last thing I want you to be able to do is to move this into a new sheet. So in other words, when you click here, then there will only be a chart. So that we do, and I've showed you this in class. Right click on the chart, I say move the chart, and I want the chart in a new sheet, and I want the chart to be called dog show, or whatever I'm telling you to call it. Please make sure you spell it correctly, and you will say okay, and it's already existing. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's move it into, I didn't see now, it was the same one. Just say move chart into a new sheet. Let's just call it dogs. Just want to show you what it looks like. So can you see it makes a separate sheet for it, and this is how I want it to look if I ask you for a new sheet. Let's say I have asked you, now I've showed you this in class, I want the spaniel, which looks bluish, to be a picture of a spaniel. Then can you see the difference? Once I click on it, then can you see there is only 3 ones there. If I right click it and I say fill and I choose picture, you can now say to work offline and then choose a picture whichever I have given you. I don't know if I'm going to find the puppy. Let's quickly see if I find the puppy here. Let's just say puppy, and then it will be displayed there. If the whole puppy goes to all of those segments, then it means, can you see all of those are now highlighted? There's a little dot, there's a little dot. It's not correct. So you must left click until you can only see that segment there. Whoops, whoops. Okay, so that's it from me. Good luck. Go sleep, go to bed early tonight.